Serious. And this is how we got here. Because all us grew up here at the firehouse, everybody know, I won't tell your story, probably let you tell it yourself, how Mama Sadie used to clean up this whole block and pick up the paper every morning at this park.
Before the crew got here.
Peace, much love, keep hope alive.
Next up to give thanks is McCray to the City Council for renaming the George Street Park, better known as the Firehouse, and to Sadie McCray, Davis McCray Park. Our mother was a giving mother. She would give clothes to children. She would give them rides to school. And you know what? She also cleaned the park. She would get up early in the morning and go from houses, clean, like you got to pick from the back of the car, up the street, and because she wanted a clean neighborhood.
The McCray family is like a second family to me. As they know, I grew up right there at 733 West 5th Street before moving into Monroe Heights. That was my first home. Miss Sadie McCray, as just indicated, treated all of us like her family. We would go to football games. I think it was E.E. was the quarterback. Alfonso was the quarterback for Kennedy. She would pile her kids in, my mother kids in.
But things like this that happen in our community are so meaningful to me.
In sincerity, extend our deepest sympathy to the children of Mrs. Sadie McCray in this hour of bereavement caused by the passing of their mother. Whereas it has pleased our Heavenly Father to call home our neighbor and friend, Mrs. Sadie McCray, we are saddened. Whereas Mrs. McCray will be missed. Many early mornings one would find her cleaning George Street Park, also known as Firehouse Park, and going next door to residents' home at 700 5th Street to clean. Whereas Mrs. McCray visited the concerned mothers in the George Street Park. While there, she spoke about how she made sure that her sons and daughters attended school. She was there for the children in her community, even calling their mothers to provide transportation for them to school. Whereas Mrs. McCray knew and told the history of the firehouse. The citizens in her neighborhood and the children of the firehouse will certainly miss her. Therefore, be it resolved that we bow in humble submission to the will of God and commend the bereaved family to the Father, who sees all and knows every heart. We entreat him to console you all. Be it further resolved that we bid you hope through the Master of all life. Resolved that Mrs. Sadie McCray be hereafter fondly and affectionately remembered for the life she lived, her love of order and cleanliness, her love of children, and the George Street Park community. This was signed on the 10th day of August 2012. There is one more I'd like to read. And whereas Sadie Davis McCray devoted many hours providing for her family, operating the Riviera Beach Jitney Taxi Company from 1951 to 2000. She was the driver of Car 15 and was affectionately known as the lady with the white hair who drives the cab. And whereas she became active in the political community in 1962 and greatly assisted in getting the first black city councilman elected to office by using her taxi service to transport people to the polls to vote, while at the same time being chased and followed by the Ku Klux Klan and others. Whereas Revelations 21 verse 4 reads, "And God shall wipe away all tears from their eyes, and there shall be no more death, neither sorrow nor crying, neither shall there be any more pain, for the former things are passed away. Ye servant who has passed your earthly test, thou art granted eternal rest." On behalf of the Mayor, City Council, Administration, staff, and employees of the City of Riviera Beach, Palm Beach County, Florida, we offer these words of comfort to the bereaved family. There's never a moment that is right in our lives for losing a person we love. It is beyond our understanding, so we must turn to the Father in heaven. He will lighten the loss and ease the sadness with strength that only He can impart. Just as a father embraces a child, God in heaven embraces us and shelters us near His heart. Now, therefore, be it resolved, we continue this memorial, but never our love and gratitude of a work completed by Mrs. Sadie Mae Davis McCray. Everybody, thank you for coming.
Well, I was thinking your name. Amen.
Amen.